Fall camp, the start of college football season and the end of reasonable parking at the university. This will be a behind-the-scenes look at photographing a Division I football fall camp. Photography isn't my only responsibility at Wyoming, so I was only able to be out there for about 2 hours in total for the first 3 days. So if you work specifically on a football staff, this video equates to about 1 full practice. However, mine is just over the span of 3 separate days. I was their only shooter for the first week. I wanted to get a variety of position groups as well as the marquee players to make sure Social could pick and choose what they want. So after switching from my film scanning setup back to my digital sports photography rig, I headed out to the field. First frame of the new year. I wanted to position myself to get QB1 and the helmet all in frame. This is Harrison Whaley. He is regarded as one of our best players, so I made sure to get a couple of him. Since I wanted to give our social team options, I bounced around position groups to get a little bit of everything. Another marquee player, Jordan Bertinoli. I like these frames, however, I needed to look for a different angle. In doing so, I love the emotion from Jaden Williams on this side, gritty and focused. So I wanted to see what he looked like on the receiving end of this drill. I just switched sides and... money. Emotion has been captured. I love the idea of this photo, since Fia is our center and head of the offensive line, but not the execution. This is a shot I'll revisit on day 2 to make better. I saw Jalen positioned perfectly as if he was posing for me, so I had to get on the ground to capture this detail shot. I finished up the day by grabbing a couple more receiver and quarterback shots. After every shoot I do, I like to throw in an HDMI to my camera and scrub through the initial batch on a bigger monitor. This saves on time and storage in the end. In doing this initial sweep, I also like to think about what I want to focus on for the next shoot, direct areas of improvement, and a better way to tell the story. Right off the bat, I want a different version of this photo. I think it has potential and Fia has a really good look to him, so I want to see how I can improve on this one. I think more emotion and better placement would be immediate improvements. And the second area I want to focus on is this angle of the QB. It's different from what you see as a fan, which is something I always try to do, show the perspective that a fan is unable to see. I would like a couple more attempts on this. So, with a game plan in mind, let's head into day 2 of practice, this time on the grass practice field instead of the empty stadium. I saw the O-lineman hitting the bag in the distance, so I went looking for Fia. So much better. I love the colors on this one. These solo drills by the QB look like they could be in a live action scrimmage, so I snapped a couple of each quarterback. I also wanted to snag a couple more wide receiver picks. I love the composition on this one. Sometimes you aren't focused on the correct thing. Instead of this shot, a missed opportunity of stellar dance moves by Clemens. I tiptoed the sideline, scoping out that angle I had liked from yesterday. After the drill concluded and I was walking back to the safety zone, I saw our QB1 dousing himself in water, so you know I had to bang that shutter. I think in a sequence of 3, they turned out nicely. Since most of my shots on the day were individual athlete related, this was my attempt at a team picture. I really like to shoot in between people, so here's an example of how I use these two to frame my subject. Alright, hold everything. I can't tell the story of shooting fall camp without mentioning what happened directly after taking this photo. I saw the offense was working on standstill catches along the sideline on the opposite side of the field. It was perfect because I could just go right in behind, go high and tight on the receiver, and it would look like it was taken in a live action scrimmage when in reality they're just sitting there catching passes. So I made my way over to the sideline hoping to catch the shot that I've been chasing. I started by standing and hated the height of the shot, so I sat down about 15 yards away from them. And then all of a sudden...
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Miraculously, the lens and camera were fine, however, my pride and nose were broken. I came up from the ground with some blood on my eye, which explains these reactions to my face. And it happened right in front of the team doctor, so it wasn't very hard to explain what brought me into his office that day. To answer the question that you all are wondering... yes, I actually got the shot. Just a miraculous chain of events. I ended up having to go to the hospital to get some x-rays, and lo and behold, my nose was officially broken. I thought that by retiring from college basketball that college sports injuries would also cease to exist, which I was clearly wrong about. I'm fine now, healed up some weeks later, it's all good. However, I didn't go home right after that happened. I actually stuck around another 15 minutes to finish the job. I was so out of it that I forgot to hit record on my GoPro, but I ended up snapping the best picture of the day immediately after I got hit. So, a crazy way to end day 2 of camp, but still needed to head out there on day 3. Will Pellissier, number 83, an old friend, and we grew up playing basketball against each other. Also my favorite target in NCAA 25. After only 20 minutes, my face was hurting, so I just ended with this shot of Jaden. But I really love the contrast on this one. So that's a wrap on shooting a Division I football fall camp. I hope that seeing where I was positioned on the field when I got these shots was useful. A lot of it comes down to trial and error, and the more reps that you have, the easier it is to see the final product while you're shooting on the field in real time. I was able to get a couple portfolio-worthy shots. Let me know if you think I left any off. This video isn't to showcase the best of the best pictures that you can get, and I save a lot of photos just for the student athletes because at the end of the day, the university cuts me checks, but I work for the kids. And even if it's not the greatest shot where it's a little too punched in or compositionally it isn't exactly what I was aiming for, that doesn't mean the student athlete and their family won't keep it forever. I'm trying to create memories that will last a lifetime, and with so many players to shoot on a football team, it's impossible to get to them all. So even if it's a decent shot, I'll always save it for them. But that doesn't mean that you can't always hunt for a better one. Until next time.